Hello and welcome back to my channel. In the previous video we have seen what is looping in C programming and what are the different types of loops in the C programming or in any other programming language and have executed a block of code for the same. So in this video let us try to discuss about the nested loops and understand how do we build patterns in C programming or in any other programming language. The logic will be same, but what differs is the syntax. So we have seen this kind of pattern in the C programming in our last video. So how do we build this kind of patterns? First you have 1 star in the first line, 2 stars in the second line, 3 stars in the third line, 4 stars in the fourth line, 5 stars in the fifth line. So how do you make up this kind of patterns? So this is done through the concept of nested loops. So let us get into the document file, understand what is a nested loop and how do we build this kind of patterns in the compiler. So let us get into the compiler now. So before getting into the compiler, let us understand what is a nested loop. To run a loop inside another loop is termed as a nested loop. These nested loops are basically used to build two-dimensional structures such as building half and full pyramid patterns, or you may also build square patterns, number patterns, alphabet patterns and many more patterns. So the syntax looks something like this. So you'll be having a loop first followed by another loop where you'll not be closing any loop after this one. So what in general case scenario, what you do is first take a for loop and then print something and then close your condition here. But in the case of nested loop, what you do is not close the statement here but run a loop inside this loop. So you have seen this kind of patterns, right? A star in the first line, 2 stars in the second line. So this is basically doing this nested loop concept. So you'll be having two loops. The first one will stand for the outer looping and the second one will stand for the inner looping. So this outer looping will take care of your structure. So you have got this triangle structure. So this is taken care through the outer looping, and the pattern like star pattern or alphabet pattern, whatever pattern you want to be seen on the screen will be achieved by this inner looping. So let us see an example to print a half pyramid pattern in C programming and do a dry run for the same and understand the concept. So let us get our skeleton code ready and understand each and every line which we are gonna write now. Hash include stdio.h int main, which is our every time program we write. So int n, so this is my variable where I'm going to read the numbers from. So reads the number. Now rows, enter the number of rows and then scan the same. So I'll say percentage d comma and %n. So up to here what you're doing is asking the user for an input and then scanning the input. So now for getting those kind of pattern, what I do is write a for loop first for int I equals to 0. So I want to start my condition from 0 and then I say that int I less than n and then I increment every time. So when my value of I is less than n, so 0 is less than some number, say 2. So this will be executed and you'll be run into the next line. So for int j equals to 0, j value will be less than or equal to I. In order to build up a pattern, what you do is specify the value of the j to be less than or equal to I. So my inner loop will take care of the pattern. So I print the star pattern here and then come out of the inner loop and then get into the outer loop where I break my line every time. So in order to build up a pattern, you break the line. So let us try to run the code now. I want 5 rows to be printed. So this will be your output. So let us get into the document and understand or dry run for the same. So this is how you achieve your code. First you give the value of I to be equal to 1. So in my case what I did is gave the I value to be 0. I have started my condition from 0. So my j value will be also equal to 1 and 1 star will be printed in the first line. When I say I value equals to 2, j will again print the value of 1 and then give a increment. So first initially 1 will be printed and then 2 will be printed. So 2 stars are going to be seen on the screen. Similarly, so how many ever number of rows you're going to have, you'll be getting that kind of pattern. So I have a right angle triangle pattern here, which is a half pyramid pattern also. So what I'll do is invert this pattern. So what I want is print 1 star at the last and rest all the pattern should go up. So let us get into the compiler and understand how do we do that. Nothing much to be made but some minor changes. So what you'll do is specify the I value equals to n first and then you say that I is greater than or equal to 0 and then decrement the I value every time. So when you have your I value equals to 5, 5 will be greater than or equal to 0. So 5 stars will be printed in the first line. Then followed by the so as your I value is greater than or equal to 0, so my phi value is greater than or equal to 0, I will have the second chance. So my number will be decremented to 4. So like that you'll go up to 1 and then print your number of stars. So this is how you deal with the star patterns in C programming. So when you want to have a number pattern, what you do is simply write the number whatever you want to get. So I say 1. So 1 will be printed like this. So you'll be having this kind of patterns. So in my next video, I'm going to make some more patterns. So this is it for this video. If you like the video, do like, share and subscribe to our channel for more interesting content.